In this section, we are going to begin learning about ladders. Ladders, a group of wires that are connected to each other, and it can be used to describe the logic connections of electrical control system. First of all, we need to know about the components of letters I have prepared. A drawing includes letter, and here you can see its. These two vertical rails work as a supply cobra are named boss, and the horizontal line is called rungs. Each collision of horizontal and vertical lines, I mean, rails and drawings expresses the reference numbers. The distance between the rungs called rung is spacing and the distance between the rails named width. Now, let's create a leader. Here in the INSSFOIR numbers panel of the schematic tab, select the NZ letter 2. The first thing we have to do is setting the components of labor. The first one with our interior ADR, note that based on the drafting is standard, the number represent the major. Here, I'm going to enter 7.5, which in and if a standard means 7.5 inches. But an I is a standard, I need to enter 750. Depth represents in millimeter. Those are the boxes for spacing. As I mentioned, it is the space between the horizontal rungs. Here, I ain't heard the no. Another option that I have to enter is rungs, which automatically computes the lens. Also, you can keep it blank and enter no. To specify the reference numbers, you can just answer the first line, the reference. For example, I type 300 and the number will start from the first line reference. The last one is index at its box. When you specify the number, it shows the increment and the numbers of reference, and by default is 1. It means that the first line reference number is 300 and the second one is 301. And it will increase one by one. But if you ain't heard the other numbers suggest 2, it becomes 300 and 302 and so on. If you have to hide your in the other hand, not to show the reference number by choosing this added box, it can be done. Now I'm going to select OK, to insert a ladder. As you see in the command line, I will be requester. To specifiers start position. I click on the point that I want to start and the ladder will be inserted. If I have not inserted the lens of leather for the second time, I would have been prompted to specify the second point to insert the leather. Here you can see the reference numbers are inserted one by one and the first reference number 300 is inserted here as I entered before. Let's discuss about the other options, the ladder, so I'm going to choose the ladder Chowila game. Here, we have two older areas. The first one is phase 2 cases. The latter are available here. The first one phase that is to create a single phase leader, and the other one is to create 3 phase ladders. In the next area, we have 3 options. The first one is no loss. It means that when I selected in the ladder created, there is no boss to be displayed. Let's try it and see the results. When I select this checkbox, I can insert the length of the ladder. So I choose AK, and in the command line, I will be requested to specify the start position. I do it and the letter will be inserted without any boss. The other option is no rungs, which inserts a letter without any rungs. So I'm going to select OK button and insert the ladder, and there is no rung here in the display ladder. Sometimes you need to add rung to your letter or base of your drawing. It is needed to add rung. Therefore there is a tool that makes it possible to do it. As you know, the first thing that is adding reference number to the letter here is how far from things. And decide to add number 6 to it. So to do that, I'm going to add its wire while your numbers final. And here, just choose the revised letter. As you can see, the modify line reference, no dialog is opened here. We have several added boxes to change or revise the letter. To add the number, I have to type 6 in wrong box because the last number was 5. Now select OK. Bottom here you can see the reference number, which I added here. I'm going to lessen the boss wires or rals. For the second time, I'm going to edit 7V, our numbers panel, to select add right to after dark. You have to choose the point inside the space between two wars boss and the leader. Rung will be added the reference, which is nearest to the points you have selected. Finally, the other roaring is shown here, and you can simply modify and as warning to your leader. Also it is possible to reposition and created the ladder to wherever you want to do that. Just select the whole ladder and just right click, and here, choose move. As you see, just by moving it and placed a ladder at this point by clicking at that point, it can be done. All parts of leather as rungs or bosses can be removed, just you have to select them and frisk these. Key to erase them. Based on your requirements in drawing, sometimes you need to widen or compress ladder, so to do that. So I'm going to edit components panel and choose the school to know. I will be asked in the command line to select a wire. I select the wire that I want to reposition and then place it at the location that I want. Note that you can move the reference numbers to create a ladder again. To show you another example, I will compress it. As you know, the command will be continued until you press escape, and it's done.